In the heart of downtown Austin, Texas, excitement filled the air at the Silvertech Auto Expo. Cameras flashed, journalists buzzed, and innovators showcased the future of technology. But at the center of all the noise stood one silent giant, the Vela, a sleek electric hypercar by Magner Industries. Hailed as the next great leap in American engineering, it looked unstoppable. Razor-sharp design, zero-gravity suspension, and a power core built to outlast every rival. But that day, it wouldn't even start. 30 of the brightest minds, Harvard grads, ex-NASA techs, Silicon Valley prodigies, had spent the entire night trying to bring it to life. Still, nothing. And there, standing before them all, was Harper Quinn, Magner's fearless CEO. Brilliant, demanding, unforgiving. At only 30, she had turned a failing company into a billion-dollar empire. Now, her masterpiece sat silent in front of investors and cameras. Her voice sliced through the tension. "If you're all so smart," she said coldly, "then fix my car." The room froze. No one dared move. Then, from the back of the crowd, came a quiet, steady voice. "I think I know what's wrong." Everyone turned. Standing there was Sophie Lane, a 12-year-old girl with freckles, oil-stained overalls, and a small notebook in her hand. She wasn't an engineer or a reporter. She was just visiting the expo with her uncle, a retired small-town mechanic. Harper blinked in disbelief. She scoffed. "You're just a kid." "Maybe," Sophie said softly, "but you grounded the wrong loop." The crowd laughed, except one man, a retired MIT engineer, who leaned forward. "Wait, she might be right." Harper folded her arms. "Fine," she said sharply. "If you're wrong, you're banned from ever stepping foot in this expo again." "Deal," Sophie replied, setting down her sandwich. From her backpack, she pulled out a small homemade diagnostic tool, something she'd built from scrap parts in her uncle's garage. She slid under the car, wires and lights reflecting in her calm eyes. Her fingers danced across the circuits like she'd done this 1,000 times. A few seconds later, the dashboard flickered, then glowed bright green. The hypercar roared to life. Gasps echoed through the hall. Phones shot up. Cameras flashed. Even Harper Quinn, the unshakable CEO, stood frozen in awe. "What did you do?" one engineer whispered. Sophie dusted off her hands. "You all kept trying to command it," she said. "I just listened." That single line silenced the entire room. Harper asked quietly, "How did you even know that?" Sophie smiled. "You posted your prototype design by mistake last year. I studied it. Fixed a similar issue on my uncle's solar bike. A child had just done what 30 top engineers couldn't, and she did it without ego. Without noise, just quiet understanding. By morning, every major outlet carried the headline. 12-year-old girl solves billion-dollar mystery. But Sophie didn't care. While the world talked, she was in a roadside motel, eating eggs and toast with her uncle. No phone, no spotlight, no rush. Later that day, a black SUV pulled up. Harper Quinn stepped out, holding an envelope. "You're one in a billion," she said. "I want to sponsor your future, travel, education, everything." Sophie smiled politely. "Thank you, ma'am, but I promised my uncle I'd fix the Andersons' tractor this week." Harper stood speechless as the girl walked back to her workbench. It wasn't rejection, it was purpose. Weeks later, a small wooden sign appeared over the garage door back home. "Lane's Workshop, listen first." Letters poured in from around the country. Kids wrote saying Sophie inspired them. Teachers started hands-on learning clubs. Community centers opened mechanical programs. And Sophie replied to everyone she could, explaining machines like they were living stories. "Engines talk," she'd say, "you just have to listen." Quietly, Harper created a secret fund, Project Spark, sending tools and parts to Sophie's garage every month. No publicity, no press, just support. Years passed. Sophie grew, but she never changed. She kept her overalls, her workshop, and her calm way of teaching others to understand before fixing. Eventually, MIT offered her early admission. She smiled and pinned the letter on the wall beside a crayon drawing from a 6-year-old fan. "I'll go someday," she said, "but first, I've got work to finish here." By 50, she was helping design low-cost diagnostic tools for farmers, selling them at cost. Never for fame. When Harper Quinn returned years later, she handed Sophie a small golden bolt engraved with her initials. "You should have the first one," she said. Sophie grinned. "Does it still hum the same?" "Only when it listens," Harper replied with a smile. That night, under the warm garage light, they sat together, not CEO and prodigy, but two people connected by understanding. And from that small-town garage, a quiet revolution began. Not built on fame or money, but on heart, patience, and the courage to listen first. This is Pure Hub Kindness, reminding you, sometimes the smallest hands can make the biggest change.